Hello there, folks. My name is Spoonks, and I saw Mortal Kombat, and it wasn't all that good. Granted, there are a couple things that I really enjoyed about this movie, and it's not the worst video game movie ever made. I still think it could have been a lot better, and suffered from a lot of issues that kept this from being a great movie. First, the positives. Easily the best thing about this movie is the action sequences. They are a ton of fun to watch and definitely keep the spirit of the game alive and well. They are intense, they are well shot, well choreographed. Each character's special powers and abilities are used to great effect, and these sequences are the only times in the movie where I got engaged in the story and where it had fun with the source material. The standout action sequences are definitely the opening action sequence and the final battle. Those are easily the best parts of the movie. They definitely started the movie off strong and then they ended out with a bang. And when there are fight scenes, there are fatalities. And oh boy, they do not hold back on the fatalities in this movie, as they are all ridiculously over the top, violent, gory, and above all else, bloody. The filmmakers really used the most out of its R rating, as this is definitely the most violent movie I have seen in a while. I even liked a couple of the characters. The two that stood out to me was Kano, who was easily the best character in this movie, as he had the best lines, the best jokes, the best quips, the best scenes, and was really the only character that embraced the silliness of the world, and really the only one who I think had the most fun in the movie. And the other being Jax, who, even though is barely in the movie, I kind of liked his arc, which is not a spoiler since it's shown in the trailer, but I liked his arc of him dealing with the fact that he has to cope with his new robot after them being taken by Sub-Zero, which I thought was handled very well. But sadly, I do have many flaws with this movie. The first and biggest issue with this movie is that the story is very, very weak. It basically boils down to exposition, training, big, super over-the-top violent fight scene happens. And while the fight scenes, again, are the best part of the movie and are really enjoyable when they come on, it's such a long gap between each of them, and you have to deal with so much exposition and training and world building that, and the movie doesn't really make these gaps between these fight scenes interesting or enjoyable, and it ultimately made them tedious and kind of boring and left me going, all right, can we get to the fight scenes now, please? That was the most enjoyable part of the movie. Can we get to there? I also think this movie takes itself way too seriously. Like, I get that the fate of the world is at risk and that the characters can all die in the most horrifically violent ways possible. But again, it's a movie based off Mortal Kombat, which has characters like demons and monsters with forearms, and people can shoot icicles out of their hands and at least have some silliness or some fun with it. And outside of Jax and Kano, I found a lot of the characters to be bland, forgettable, and even underused. I can't tell you the name of the new main guy, as they give him nothing really interesting or any sort of traits to make him stand out above the rest. And as for the other side characters, while I didn't find them hateable or boring, in fact, some of them actually piqued my interest. The problem is that many of them are just pushed to the sideline and are either very underutilized or aren't given that much to do, which is unfortunate because, again, I could see the potential with me liking these characters, but they just become underutilized or poorly developed. And my last big issue with this movie is the fan service. Now I get it, it's based on a video game that everyone loves, so of course there's going to be fan service, and I will admit I did get excited when I heard lines like "finish him" and "get over here," but a lot of the fan service felt very forced and shoved in, as a lot of the characters just say these lines randomly during fight scenes or scenes of important, and it just felt like the filmmakers going, hey, it's that line from the game, you love that line and these characters are saying it, so you should get excited. And it really didn't feel natural, and again, just felt forced. So ultimately, this movie is very mediocre. There are some good aspects like the action sequences, the gore and the violence, and I even like two of the characters, and some of the fan service works well, but it doesn't say, I can't really say that it's a good movie. It's got a lot of issues. The story is weak, characters underdeveloped, fan service can get tedious at times, and I feel like it took itself way too seriously. This is doing a simultaneous release of both in theaters and on HBO Max, and I think this is definitely something you can just watch on HBO Max if you have the streaming service already, because, well, this is definitely something that works better at home or on your TV, and I do not think that you should like rush out to the theater to go check this out for like the full price admission. So those are my thoughts on Mortal Kombat. What did you guys, if you've seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow all of the social media links at the end of the video. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.
Mortal Kombat!